सो फाइनली आफ्टर सो मेनी डेज फिर से हम आ गए लाइव और पढ़ने जहाँ पे लास्ट में छोड़ा था वहीं से शुरू करते हैं। हाँ, होप ये बुक जल्दी ख़त्म हो जाए। मुझे बहुत सारी बुक्स पढ़नी है। एक एक चीज़ बताए आपको, देखो यार, एक मतलब हर रोज़ पढ़ने के चक्कर में ना ये पूरी ऑलमोस्ट ख़त्म ही हो गई है। थोड़ा थोड़ा इतना इतना सा बाकी बस। एंड आई एम सो एक्साइटेड। मैंने 2 3 4 किताबें नहीं खरीदी है हाँ। पावर ऑफ सबकॉन्शियस माइंड एंड पावर ऑफ नाउ, मैनिफेस्टिंग के थिंक एंड ग्रो रिच। 3 4 बुक मैंने मंगाई थी पढ़ लूँगी बोल के, एक भी नहीं हुआ मेरे से। और पावर ऑफ पॉजिटिव थिंकिंग, ये बुक क्या है ना, थोड़ा हैवी है बट दिस बुक इज़ रियली गुड, पढ़ना चाहिए। लेकिन मैं पता नहीं क्यों ये बुक ख़त्म ही नहीं कर पाती। मे बी आई एम नॉट रेडी फॉर द नॉलेज, बट या एटलीस्ट आई विल मेक माई सेल्फ रेडी नाउ। अगर मैं रोज़ रोज़ पढ़ूंगी तो हो जाएगा, लाइक एनी हाउ किसी ना किसी तरीके से पढ़ लूँगी। पता नहीं अचानक से लाइक जब प्रोडक्टिव नहीं होती हूँ तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें अनप्रोडक्टिव हो जाती है। सो ठीक है, चलो और बात ना करके बुक रीडिंग शुरू करते हैं। लास्ट हमने पढ़ा था 127 तक। आई होप माई वॉइस इज क्लियर। Nobody is here to tell me if I am audible or not, but okay, let's start. पढ़ाई कर लेते हैं अभी। Okay, I'm so happy. I don't know, like I'm just feeling happy because I'm live. No, because फिर से book reading शुरू हो जाएगी। I seriously love book reading, but still why I don't read, I don't know. Okay, page number 127. People you hang around the most also। थोड़ा कॉन्टेक्स्ट के लिए दूसरा वाला पेज भी पढ़ लेते हैं। who order greasy, think of your friends who order greasy appetizer or a cocktail before dinner and that's their routine. Hang out with them enough and you will find yourself grabbing for cheese nachos and potatoes. Your friends have incredibly watch out. Okay, so that is what combined average income. So what is the combined average income, health or attitudes of the 5 people you spend most of your time with? Does the answer frighten you? If so, the best way to increase the potential for whatever traits you desire is to spend the majority of your time with people who already possess those traits. Okay. You will then see the power of influence work for you rather than against you. The behaviors and attitudes that help me acquire the success you admire will begin to become part of your daily routine. Hang around them long enough and you will likely to realize similar successful outcomes in your life. If you haven't already, jot down the names of those 5 people you hang around the most. Also write down their main characteristics, both positive and negative. It doesn't matter who they are. It could be your spouse, your brother, your neighbor, or your assistant. Now average time out. What's their average health and bank balance? That's their average relationship like. As you look at the results, ask yourself, is this list okay for me? Is this where I want to go? Okay, ये एक्सरसाइज कर सकते हैं ना, मतलब जितने भी लोगों के साथ यू स्पेंड योर टाइम विद, उनके मतलब पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव ट्रेड्स तुम्हें लिखने हैं। उसके बाद मतलब तुम्हें इस चीज़ को क्या करना है, व्हाट्स देयर मतलब उनके एवरेज रिलेशनशिप, उनका इनकम कैसा है वो तुम्हें फाइंड आउट करना है। तुम्हें ऐसे ही मिल जाएगा तुम्हें, ठीक है। इज दिस लिस्ट ओके फॉर मी? और अगर मतलब जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स उनके अंदर है वो लिस्ट इज दिस वेयर आई वॉन्ट टू गो? इट्स टाइम टू ओके, उसके बाद क्या पढ़ते हैं? इट्स टाइम टू रीअप्राइज एंड रीप्रायोरिटाइज द पीपल यू स्पेंड टाइम विद. दीज रिलेशनशिप्स कैन नर्चर यू, starve you or keep you stuck. Now that you've started to carefully consider who you spend your time with, let's go a little deeper. As Jim Rohn taught me, it's powerful to evaluate and shift your association into three categories: disassociations, limited associations, and expanded associations. Okay. अभी उन्होंने बताया कि 3 टाइप्स ऑफ एसोसिएशंस होते हैं, अभी उनको जानते हैं। एक नंबर 1 है डिसएसोसिएशंस। यू गार्ड डिसएसोसिएशंस का क्या मतलब पढ़ते हैं? यू गार्ड अगेंस्ट द इन्फ्लुएंसेस योर children are exposed to and the people they hang around. You are aware of the influence these people could have on your children and the choices they might make as a result. I believe these same principles should apply to you. You already know this. There are some people you might need to break away from completely. This might not be an easy step to take, but it's essential. You have to make the hard choice to let certain to choice not to let certain negative influence affect you anymore. Determine the quality of life you want to have and then surround yourself with the people who represent and support that vision. I'm constantly weeding out people who refuse to grow and live positively. Growing and changing your association is a lifelong process. Some people might say, I am too rigorous about it, but I'd like to be more so. I had a business relationship with someone I really liked, but when the economy got difficult, most of his conversation was focused on how horrible everything was, how much his company was feeling the hit, and how hard it was out there. I said, man, you've got to stop working on your presentation about how bad life is. I can hear you collecting all the data points to reinforce your beliefs. He persisted in seeing everything as more dour and hopeless than it was. I decided we had no business going together, doing I decided we had no business going business together. When you make the tough decision to put up boundaries between you and people who drag you down, realize that they will fight you, especially those closest to you. Your decision to live a positive, goal oriented life will hold a mirror up to their own poor choices. You will make them uncomfortable and they will attempt to pull you back down to their level. Their resistance doesn't mean they don't love you or want the best for you. It's actually not about you at all. It's about their fear and guilt about their own poor choices and lack of discipline. Just know that breaking away won't be easy. Okay. सुंदर लगना भी जरूरी है. ओके. डिसएसोसिएशंस पढ़ा हमने, मतलब वो लोग जो बहुत खराब होते हैं हमारे लिए, उनसे दूरी बनाना ही सबसे अच्छा होता है. देन लिमिटेड एसोसिएशंस. नेक्स्ट हेडिंग. There are some people who can spend 3 hours with 3 hours with you can spend 3 hours with, but not 3 days. Others you can spend 3 minutes with, but not 3 hours. Always remember that the influence of associations is both powerful and subtle. Okay. Always remember that the influence of association is both powerful and subtle. The person you are working with can determine whether you slow your pace or quicken it, literally and figuratively. Similarly, you can't help but be touched by the dominant attitudes, actions, and behaviors of the people with whom you can spend time. Decide how much you can afford to be influenced based on how those people represent themselves. This is difficult, I know. I have had to do this on several occasions, even the close family members. I will not, however, allow someone else's actions or attitudes to have a dampening influence on me. I once had a neighbor who was deemed a 3 minute friend. For 3 minutes, we could have a great chit chat, but we wouldn't mash for 3 hours. I can hang out with an old high school friend for 3 hours, but he's not a 3 day guy. And there are some people I can hang around for a week but wouldn't go on extended vacation with. Take a look at your relationship. Make sure you are not spending 3 hours with 3 minute person. Okay, okay, I got it. लिमिटेड एसोसिएशन का मतलब यही है कि आपको समझना पड़ेगा किसके साथ मुझे कितना टाइम बिताना है, किसके साथ मैं कितना टाइम बिताना एफोर्ड कर सकती हूँ। जैसे कि अगर आप हाईली एम्बिशियस हो और एक इंसान एकदम ही एम्बिशियस नहीं है, आप बहुत पढ़ाई करते हो, वो बिल्कुल भी पढ़ाई नहीं करता, तो क्या होगा? आप थोड़े उससे थोड़े ना थोड़े इन्फ्लुएंस हो जाओगे, क्योंकि आप दोनों का गोल्स बिल्कुल अलग है, राइट? सो शायद आप दोनों थोड़ा बात कर पाओ या बिल्कुल ही बात ना कर पाओ, वो आपको डिसाइड करना पड़ेगा, राइट? क्योंकि क्या है वो, क्या मेरे लिए सही है? शायद वो बिल्कुल ही सही नहीं है, तो उसको पूरा कट ऑफ कर देते हैं। और दूसरा इंसान जो 2 घंटा पढ़ता है, तो मैं उसके साथ में 1-2 बात कर सकती हूँ, तो 3 मिनट, ऐसा मतलब ऐसा टाइप का कुछ। मतलब वही है कि लिमिट करना, जो आपके लिए सही नहीं है उसको, और जो सही है उसको 3 घंटा दो, 3 दिन दो। जो सही नहीं है उसको बिल्कुल भी टाइम मत दो। वही expanded association, next heading. We've just talked about weeding our negative influences. While we are doing that, you will also want to reach out, identify people who have positive qualities in the areas of life where you want to improve. People with the financial and business success you desire, the parenting skills you want, the relationship you yearn for, the lifestyle you love, and then spend more time with them. Join organizations, businesses, and health clubs where these people gather and make friends. Ahead, you will see how I even used to drive to a different town to spend quality time with fortu- for fortuitous results. I rave about Jim Rohn throughout the book. Aside from my father, Jim remains my foremost mentor and influencer. My relationship with Jim perfectly exemplify an expanded association. While I got to share a few private meals and spend a little time with him during our interviews and backstage before events, most of my time with Jim Rohn was spent listening to him in my car or reading his words in my living room. I have spent more than 1,000 hours getting direct instruction from Jim, and 99% of that was through books and audio programs. That's what exciting about it. No matter where you are in life, maybe busy at home with small children or caretaker, aging parents, working long hours with people with whom you have little in common, or living out in the country far from the nearest office building. You too can have almost any mentor you want. If he or she has gathered their best thoughts, stories, and ideas into books, videos, and podcasts, you have an unlimited bounty from which to draw. Take advantage of it. Now, people who reach out to my assistant in order to get my advice or mentorship, all she has to do is tell them it's already available from anywhere in the world, Terrain Daily, or inside Terrain Daily Hardy Training World. If you want to have a better, deeper, more meaningful relationship, Ask yourself, who has the type of relationship I want? How can I spend more time with that person? Who can I meet? Who can positively influence me? These are important questions. I should highlight these. Let their glow rub off on you. Befriend the person you think is the biggest, baddest, most successful person in your field. What do they read? What do they go for lunch? What do they go for? Sorry, where do they go for lunch? How can that association influence you? You can build these expanded associations by joining networking groups and even online communities. Find the charity organization, symphonies, and club where the people you want to emulate gather. Okay. Find a peak performance partner. Next heading. Another way to increase your exposure to expand association is by teaming up with a peak performance partner, someone equally committed to study and personal growth as you. This person should be someone you trust, someone bold enough to tell you that what they really think about you, your attitudes, and your performance. It could be that this person is a long time friend, or it may be someone who doesn't know you well at all. The point is to get and give an unbiased, honest, outside perspective. My longtime accountability partner is my good friend Landon Taylor. As I mentioned before, we have a 30-minute call every Friday to discuss our weekly wins, losses, fixes, us, and where we are on our growth plans. The anticipation of call and knowing I have to be accountable to Landon keeps me extra committed throughout the week. Okay, let me highlight this. I can use this. Uh, I made a record of Landon's losses or any feedback he needs and make sure I ask him about the next week. He does the same for me. The way he held each other accountable. He might say, "Okay, you screwed up here last week," and admitted it and committed to change. What did you do things that this week? Life is life. We are both busy executives, but it's amazing to me that we actually end up doing this every week without fail. It's not easy sometimes. It's not easy. Sometimes I am flying through my day and think, crude. I have to do this. But often in the middle of the call, I think I'm so glad we are having this conversation, even in preparing for. Even in preparing for it and thinking of my big wins and losses for the week, I learned about myself. This week I told Landon, you know, I am the middle of so many things. I'm writing my book, I'm having a lot of realizations and so many ahas, but not one thing that's really compelling, he said. He said, let this be the last week that you don't come to the table with a gulp. Don't shortchange me. He said, point taken. In reality, I was shortchanging myself by not identifying one thing memorable enough to share. I have a serious challenge for you. If you're up for it, want real feedback, find people who care enough about you to be brutally honest with you. Ask them this question: how do I show up to you? What do you think my strengths are? In what areas do you think I can improve? Where do you think I sabotage myself? What's one thing I can stop doing that would benefit me the most? What's the one thing I should start doing? Invest in mentorship. Paul J. Mayer in another, I was talking to one of my friend about this, and I really need a mentor and I need to manifest it. And I was like seriously sending this message to this universe. Dear universe, I know you're listening to me. Please send a mentor in my life. I really need a mentor because I feel I have a lot of potential. Like whoever see my videos now, watch my videos and all, they say I'm doing something good, and they are not like saying it casually. Like I really can see it in their eyes that they really mean it. But the fact that I am procrastinating a lot, and in a lot of stuff I am not that good, I feel like I lack guidance. So that's the reason right now I am in the process of manifesting a guide, and I really want it, and I know the universe is sending a guide in my path, to guide me towards the right path. I am sure definitely it's going to happen, because whenever I manifest something from my heart, and I really get it seriously. And you can get it too. Whatever we want, we can easily get it. Okay, so Paul J. Mayer is another man who served as a mentor to me. Paul passed away. Paul. Paul passed away in 2009 at age 81. Whenever I thought I was really doing well, really playing at a high level, I'd get around Paul. Paul, he was my reality check. What he did before lunch was mind boggling to me. I got to spend a lot of time with him. Paul bought one of my companies, and I also conducted a turnaround for one of his companies. He was a very powerful spirit in my life. After spending a couple of hours with Paul, hearing about all his plans, ventures, and activities, my head would spin. Just trying to make sense of all he had ex- going on exhausted me. After time with Paul, I'd want to go take a nap. But why association with him raised my game? His walking pace was any running pace. It expanded my ideas about how big I could play and how ambitious I could be. You have to get around people like that. You were never too good for a mentor. My friend Harvey Mackey told me I have had 20 coaches. If you can believe it, I have a speech coach, I have a writing coach, I have a humor coach, I have a language coach, and on and on. Wow. I've always found it interesting that the most successful people, the truly performers, are the ones willing to hire and pay for the best coaches and trainers there are. It pays to invest in your improved performance. Finding and engaging a mentor doesn't need to be a mysterious or intimidating process either. When I sat down with Ken Blanchard, he explained the simplicity of engaging a mentor. The first thing you want to remember with a mentor is that it doesn't need to take a lot of their time. The breakfast with somebody, just telling them what I am working on and asking their advice. You will be amazed how successful business people are willing to be mentors to people when it's not taking a lot of time. Okay. John Wooden reinforced that. Okay, I should highlight this point. If I bump into any businessman one day, then I should ask them very quickly. That's also a reminder for you. If you know sit in front of a very big businessman or anyone, कोई भी बड़ा आदमी अगर तुम्हारे सामने आ जाए और तुम्हें उससे कुछ पूछना है, तो ट्राई करो कि जल्दी से जल्दी पूछ लो. Like like this says, you will be amazed how successful businesses are willing to be mentors. मतलब वो तुम अमेज हो जाओगे ये जानकर कि जो सक्सेसफुल लोग हैं, बिजनेसमैन जो है, वो कितना क्या कितना चाहते हैं कि ऐसे लोगों के मेंटर बने जिन्हें उनको कम से कम टाइम देना पड़ेगा, एकदम कम टाइम में उनको एडवाइस दे देंगे। सो उनके मेंटर बनना चाहते हैं क्योंकि उनके लिए शायद उनका टाइम इम्पोर्टेंट है। दैट्स द लाइक, हाँ ऑब्वियसली हमें पता ही है ना कि उनके लिए जो मिलियनियर बिलियनियर होते हैं, रिच पीपल होते हैं, उनके लिए उनका टाइम सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो वो किसी के मेंटर क्यों ना बने अगर वो कम टाइम में इजीली कर देगा वो काम, राइट? इजीली उनका एडवाइस ले लेगा, राइट? ओके, सो नेक्स्ट पढ़ते हैं। जॉन विडन reinforced that point to me when he shared, mentoring is your true legacy. It is the greatest inherited you can give to other. And it should never end. It is why you get up every day to teach and be taught. He went on to explain that mentorship is also a two-way street. An individual needs to be open to being motivated, to being mentored. It is our responsibility to be willing to allow our lives and our minds to be touched, molded, and strengthened by the people who surround us. ओके, हियर इट इज, यहाँ पे बोल रहा है कि मेंटरिंग इज योर ट्रू लेगेसी। आई रिमेम्बर मेंटरिंग अ पर्सन, आई डोंट नो इट्स अ मेंटरिंग बोल सकते हैं या समवन रीच्ड आउट टू मी। मैं थ्रेड्स में बहुत सारे वो शेयर करती थी, कोट्स शेयर करती थी, एंड वन पर्सन रीच्ड आउट टू मी ही सेइंग दैट ही हैड लॉट्स ऑफ प्रॉब्लम, मतलब कुछ प्रॉब्लम था, सिचुएशनशिप ऐसा टाइप का कुछ था, वो नहीं बोलूँगी। तो लेटर ऑन आई गाइडेड हिम। 2-3 दिन ऐसा करके मैंने उसको बताया कि ऐसा करो, ऐसा करो, ऐसा करो। फिर मैंने कॉल पे बातें भी करी, इंस्टा पे कॉल पे बातें भी करी। देन ही लेटर ऑन ही सेड ओके, ही रियली फेल्ट बेटर। उसने दूसरी चीज़ें भी करी, ही मूव्ड इनटू अ डिफरेंट प्लेस, बट या समहाउ थोड़ा तो मैंने हेल्प किया उसको। ऐसा नहीं कि पेड था ऐसा कुछ, आई जस्ट हेल्प हिम ऐसे ही। सो या मैंने तो करा है, एंड आई रियली लव टू हेल्प पीपल। कोई भी लोगों का प्रॉब्लम होता है ना, तो मतलब पूछते हैं, मेरे फ्रेंड्स जो होते हैं वो भी पूछते हैं, लाइक सीरियस वाला गाइडेंस आई कैन गिव, जो हमेशा तो नहीं दे सकती ना, लेकिन बहुत सारी चीज़ें जैसे हेल्थ, सेल्फ वर्थ, सेल्फ लव रिलेटेड या रिलेशनशिप्स के रिलेटेड प्रॉब्लम्स, हाँ आई कैन ईजिली गिव एडवाइस। ओके, so to teach and to be taught. He went on to explain that mentorship is to individual needs to, okay, it is our responsibility to be willing to allow ourselves and our minds to be touched, molded, and strengthened by the people who surround us. Okay, 133 मैंने 27 में स्टार्ट किया था, 35 तक पढ़ लेंगे आज। ओके, 28 मिनट्स। मैंने डिनर भी नहीं किया, 5 पेजेस तो हो गए। आई नीड टू गो टू डिनर, खाना खाना है यार, लेट हो गया। आई यूजुअली हैव माई डिनर अराउंड 7-7:30। आज कुछ काम था, मम्मी थोड़ी बीमार है ना, तो इसलिए थोड़ा लेट हो गया। ओके, इतना पढ़ लिया ना, कितना पढ़ा? 33 तक पढ़ लिया, मतलब 27 से 33 6 पेजेस तो हो ही गए ना, पहले दिन के लिए इतना काफ़ी है। ओके, सी यू टुमारो। अच्छा लगा, ये बुक जल्दी खत्म होने वाला है। कितना पेज बचा है, चलो देख लेते हैं। कंक्लूशन 58, मतलब अभी कितना पेज है? 35 मतलब 23 पेजेस बाकी है। 2-3 दिन देखते हैं, मैं फिर से आ सकती हूँ खाना खाने के बाद। अभी तो खाना खाने जाना है, चलो कोई भी नहीं है, 0 इंसान, बट ओके, आई डोंट माइंड। मुझे पागलपंती करना पसंद है, ऐसा नहीं है। आई जस्ट रियली लव टू रीड बुक्स एंड मुझे लाइव आके लगता है कि कोई अकाउंटेबल है। मैं जब भी लाइव आती हूँ ना, मतलब हो जाता है, पढ़ना हो जाता है। और एक और बात है, मैंने ये नोटिस किया है। जब मैं एक दिन बंद करती हूँ तो लास्ट टाइम मेरे को याद है, आई वाज सो फ्रस्ट्रेटेड कि मैंने एक दिन बंद कर दिया था। अभी ऐसा नहीं करूँगी। अगर एक दिन, मतलब मैं कोशिश करूँगी हर रोज़ आने की। और अगर कभी ऐसा हो जाए कि मेरे से मिस हो रहा है ना, तो कोई बात नहीं, आई विल डू इट अगेन, राइट? ओके, बाय।